She's like, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, your paws are telling a different story. I'm not doing nothing wrong. All right, it is finally time to make my holiday crochet sweater. So this is last year's holiday sweater. I went a little overboard, just a little overboard. And I made this cardigan that's like this winter wonderland kind of Candyland theme where I made front, there's a back, there's some sleeves, and then I added all these iridescent pearls all over it to make it look like snowflakes. This year's project is gonna be a little bit more not crazy, but it is gonna also be a little bit crazy. Like a tacky Christmas sweater, but I love that, so it's not tacky to me. These are the yarns that I'm going to be using. They are, these yarns here are by Lions Brand, and they are the Pound of Love. Now, I made my birthday sweater primarily out of the red version of this, and I didn't realize how lightweight and soft it was, because usually, you know, I use Michael's Impeccable, and that's a nice kind of like medium weight yarn. It's not too heavy, but it's also not the lightest. And then when I made the whole thing out of like one of these, I didn't realize how like light and soft it is to wear. So this whole entire project is going to be made out of just these two colors. Now the colors, of course, you know, antique white that I use for like all my projects. And then this is a new one. This one is called Hunter Green. Now I was actually going to go with a Kelly Green from Loops and Thread Impeccable, but then I saw that they have like this really nice dark green color. I'm like, I'm gonna go with this really nice dark green color. The idea of this sweater is it's all going to be this color, the front, the back, the sleeves. This color is going to be for the bottom ribbing, the collar, and the cuffs, as well as in the center, I'm going to make a giant Christmas tree. So it's going to be a tapestry project, and I love tapestry projects, so it's just going to be a big old Christmas tree. Now for those who do not celebrate Christmas, it's just a nice big evergreen tree. If you do celebrate Christmas, the other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going to craft stores, I'm going to be going to thrift stores, I'm going to go to anywhere that sells little tiny decorations, and I am going to deck out this tree. So it will be just a simple, you know, those little triangle trees that you draw in grade 1. And then I'm going to just get a ton of little tiny ornaments and little tiny things, and I'm gonna sew them onto the tree. It is a very simple project. I've been doing a lot of like crazy projects this last year that I kind of just want to end the year with a nice simple project. Well, it's probably not going to be the last project of the year. For like the last big sweater kind of project, I want to just tone it down just a little bit, just a little bit, but then also like jazz it up with a bunch of sparkly ornaments that's going to be on my sweater. So without further ado, I did not plan it out yet on my Procreate app, so I will be doing that shortly, and then I can start crocheting. Can you just, oh, she's like, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, your paws are telling a different story. They're touching the yarn. Stop. I'm doing nothing wrong. I actually got the one arm done because I hadn't made the graphic or the tree. I hadn't made that yet, but the tree is made. Here's the problem I get into when it comes to triangle shapes or like really angles, right? One side, it will kind of look like this. And then the other side, you get these little things. And again, it's reversed. So on the back side of this side, you get those little things. And then on the back side of this one, you get the same that's going on over here. Here's where I get into the difficulty is there's kind of a way to do it, but I just don't like it. Instead of skipping one this way, you don't skip it. You go all the way, you do whatever you need to do here, you work all the way back, and then you do your skip. But here's the problem I'm running into, because I'm like, oh, should I restart this part here? Like, I don't really care for this. Sometimes if I don't know what I'm doing, what I'll do is I'll just like go back and forth for like a little bit just to see if that's what I want, instead of going all the way down and then all the way back and then realize I don't like it, and then I have to take apart like an hour worth of work. Whereas this is like like 5 minutes. You can clearly see is when I did that little thing to try to, you know, get rid of these, it's still giving me something right here. It is a Christmas tree. It is a tree. Okay, these are little tree things. It makes sense. It's fine. I'm about halfway done the tree, which is amazing, but I do want to show you something that I find really easy to do. Is I've mentioned this in other projects as well, but instead of just having one white and having to bring it all the way over here to finish this, I've got two going right now. This side has its own ball of yarn and this side has its own ball of yarn. And then that way I'm not having to, like, you know, do a long stretch of yarn just to get to the other side. And then it's just all wasteful, right? And then green is literally just the center, so I don't have to worry about it. That really, really helps. The first few projects I did, I didn't do it, and now I get it. I'm halfway down the tree, and what I want to show you, I'm on this row right now, and because I know the next row is going to be another like branch, I really don't know, another triangle that sticks out. What I'm gonna do is, as I'm going to take the green yarn and I'm gonna hide it like this, because here's the thing, normally I don't really like doing this because sometimes the color will show up on the other side, but if the other color next, like the next line is going to be that color, then it's okay because it's going to be hidden. The next color is going to be the tree branch, and I know I have to do 9, so that's 1, 2, 3, 9, and then I'm just going to continue. Because I know that the branches that stick out, it's 9 spaces, so 9 single crochets for this branch here. I'm going to leave this here because what's going to happen is when I turn around, I'm going to need that. So let me just go all the way back to the end, work my way back, and then I'll show you what I do with this guy. Made my way all the way back. I'm just gonna pull this green a little bit. Now you see this? This is what I mean of why I don't do this technique in my normal crocheting, because you can see the color. When this is supposed to be white, am I making sense? This is why I don't do it. I always get comments but like, oh, you should do that. This is why I don't do it. But because I am going into the green color, it's not gonna be that noticeable. To make sure that this green is really hidden here, when I put my crochet hook, instead of going this, you know, like you normally would, I'm actually gonna go below the green yarn that I had like hidden in, and then it's not going to be seen anymore. Okay, so that's what it looks like on this side, and that's what it looks like on that side. And then when I go on over to the other side now, because I need it to be, you know, identical to this side, I am going to have to move the white over 9 crochets. Like how I did with the green, I'm going to do the same thing with the white. Now the white is going to be hidden a lot easier than the green was. So that is the start of my next branch right there, and I'm just going to keep on going up, and that's it. Which is really great about these pieces is that I always do them in single crochets, so it's like all I have to do is just follow the pattern. I don't have to worry about math or anything. I just have to like just crochet. I finished all 4 pieces. It took me a lot longer than I thought. I don't know. I was doing so well, and then at one point this one broke me. The back piece, when there's just nothing and it's just a bunch of single crochets, that broke me. But I did it. I got all 4 pieces done, and what's so funny is that this piece here, I did it yesterday. I just did an entire sleeve yesterday. So this is how the tree looks. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm going to be attaching all the pieces today, and then I think I'm gonna start the ribbing on the bottom because that takes the longest time to do. Getting that done will make everything else easier, because if I can get it all attached and start the ribbing on the bottom, then tomorrow I can finish the bottom, do the 2 sleeves, and then do the neck piece. And then all that's left is for me to put all the little decorations on here, which I'm very excited for. So it's almost done. I'm almost there. It's almost a sweater. Last night, I was able to actually do the entire bottom ribbing of the sweater. I am so surprised that I was able to do that. I thought I was only gonna get halfway through, but I did it. I did the whole thing, and I was able to get one cuff done, which is great. I am now currently working on the second one, and I still have to do the neck. There's Totoro again, so such a baby. And then I have to add everything on there, so it's shaping up. I can finally see the finish line of this project. But now I'm kind of thinking, what am I gonna do after this project? I can't remember if I said this in a previous video. When I connect all my pieces together, I like to use the metal, oh god, I've already lost it. The metal
needle because it's a lot easier to sew with, because sometimes the plastic ones, such as this one here, it gets caught on like the yarn itself and it snags and it's really annoying. However, when it comes to weaving in the ends, I do prefer this one because I can put multiple ends in this needle and weave them all at once instead of individual. That's just a little tip that I like when I'm weaving in my ends. I finished the cuffs and the bottom, and now I'm going to be working on this. So I did tie it off up here. It fits my head. That's good. But what I have to do now is I have to make the collar bit. And if you watched my Animal Crossing video, like the mom sweater, the one I made for my birthday, the Granny Square one, I did do a collar and then I attached it, and I love it how it fits. I love how it looks. But there was one problem that I didn't realize was a problem until the end of the video when I stopped recording and I took it off and I realized it wouldn't come off because it wouldn't fit over my head. I put it on and it was fine. Oh, no, I forgot. Oh, I just looked over at my laptop. I'm like, why is it black? Did it break on me again? Because my first laptop that I had, the sensor or whatever didn't work, so the backlight was gone on it, and I thought that was the problem. I had plugged it in to charge it like 2 hours ago. The problem is I didn't turn on the power bar that it was plugged into, so it died on me. Anywho, yeah, the thing wouldn't come off because I made it so it would fit my neckline. I didn't make it so it would fit up here, so that's what I'm working on now. Hopefully it works out this time. So I finished the collar, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it on to the neck opening, and I'm going to have it so then that way it's going this way. So then that way when I flip it inside out, the collar is sticking up. I hope that kind of makes sense. I can't really figure out how to say it. All right, so this is how it's looking so far. Couldn't really figure out the neckline because I tried to do what I did last time where it was like flipped up, but like it just looks awkward because it's so big because I have to, you know, have fit around my head. So I kind of just like flattened it down, and honestly, I kind of like how that looks. So I'm gonna leave it. Again, Christmas is like literally right around the corner. So it's not like I'm gonna get a ton of use wearing this sweater, even though I think it's really, really cute. Technically could leave it like this. It's really cute. And know what's so funny is that yesterday I realized that this is the sweater from Animal Crossings. I made a second accidental Animal Crossings sweater. I don't know. I really like how cute this is. Oh, this is adorable. I'm gonna add all the stuff on. Now here's the thing. If I decide, hey, I don't like all the stuff on in the future, I can take it off and I'll still have a really cute sweater. Now I can put all the little doodads on here and get that done today. So yeah. In the home stretch, here's all the things I want to do. Most of these are from Michael's because they had a really good sale a month ago. Exactly a month ago. Everything was buy one, get one free. I took advantage of that. 2 of these. Now there was a green one, but because the tree is green, I wanted to go with different colors, and I wasn't too sure which one I wanted to go for. I didn't know if I wanted to go more traditional with the red, or if I wanted to do like glitzy and glammy with the gold. And I guess the gold's also traditional too, but I wasn't too sure which one would look best. So I bought both because one was free. And then I got these. I got this one because it's a little train, and I thought that'd be cute. And then I think I got 2 packs of little lights, but I don't know if I'm gonna use these because I bought these lights that run on a battery pack. And then I got these little presents because I'm thinking about maybe just attaching some presents at the bottom of the tree. And then I got these. I don't know if I want to use them yet. I kind of wanted to make a pair into earrings. And then I went to the Dollarama this morning and I bought these. And I'm not going to use all of them. I really just I only want one because I want it to be the star. Then I bought these ones here, which are just colorful ones, but I like these a lot more than I like these. I'm going to sew them all on. I know, it seems very unpractical if I have to wash this. I'm probably going to wear it once this year and probably not again till next year. And if I want to wear it again next year, then I can just snip everything off and then resew it. I know it's a little bit of a pain, but this is where we're going with this project. I was kind of going for like this gold one. I think that the sparkly one is a little bit better just because the gold one, there's just a lot of scratches. So we'll do the gold one up there.
And here comes Pippin. She just wanted to know what I was doing. And when she quickly realized that it wasn't very interesting to her, she left. I originally bought these ones for the project, but then I remembered I had these ones, and these ones I have had for years. These are the ones that I've always used for like my Joyce cosplay for Stranger Things, so I think I might use these ones because they're clear. Also, this part a lot smaller than these ones, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Before I sew these into the sweater, I have to make sure that it still works. They work, thank goodness. What's going on? Why doesn't it want to work anymore? Those ones are acting a little weird. Yeah, they're kind of flickering, so I guess I can't use these. I really wanted to use them, but it's just like, I think the mechanics with the batteries, it's kind of gone. Oh, good. They light up. So this one here actually has a bunch of different settings, which is kind of neat. On, and then flash, and then this is a fading dim one. Okay, I think, oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna just stick with the steady on. I think that will be the best, so that's great. This is also kind of heavy, but don't worry, I have a plan. I'm gonna sew this piece of fabric into my sweater. I didn't think about that. That's not gonna be very comfortable. Let's see if it turns on. Oh, okay, like, yeah. Then I'm going to actually sew this thing. I need to make a little pouch. The pouch is going to be about that big. Okay, I'm going to run this quickly through my sewing machine. Let's make sure it fits in. Okay, it fits great. And I kind of want it like right on the side here. It's exactly how I envisioned it to be. It's just a little bulky because if I turn it to the side, I feel like it's sticking out a lot due to all of the wires. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, it is fantastic. Like, can I get close so you can kind of see, like, look at all this, right? The whole outfit was not complete until I did this. And then it did it. And now it's on me. And I don't know if the wires are gonna get hot or not. So that will be interesting to find out when I wear it out. But the lights are not attached, and I don't think I'm gonna attach them. I think they're just gonna sit as they are, just so that way if anything were to happen with the lights, I can pull them out really easily instead of having to like cut all the things that I've sewn it on, if that makes sense. I did add some of the little presents. I put one here, I put one here, and I put one down here. I think they look a lot better going like this rather than sitting at the bottom, because then I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, oh, but then there's just gonna be a bunch of boxes down here, and that's gonna be kind of uncomfortable. Is there a light missing? Ooh, we'll stick this right through. There we go. Pouch is over here. For some reason, I thought I was putting it on this side. I wanted it on this side. It's over here. It's fine. It happened. I literally just spent the last hour and a half crouched over on the floor putting all this stuff on. Never again. It's never happening again. I'm never doing a project that like this. I also do want to say that if, you know, this isn't your thing and you like Animal Crossings, you can just make the pine tree sweater and not add the green cuffs, the neck, or the bottom, and you can just have the tree. You could do that pattern. Another thing that I was thinking about, and I think that this would be a really good idea, and I really wish I thought of this idea, but I didn't think of it until this morning when I was at a thrift store. And that idea, instead of sewing everything on here, buy a bunch of holiday brooches. Do you know how much easier that would have been if I would have just bought a bunch of brooches and then just added the brooches on? Not only would the brooches of one been so much easier, they would have been a lot easier to remove. Because again, if I want to wash this, every single thing on here is gonna have to come off. Unless I just spot wash it. It's a lot. That's something that maybe I'll do next year. You know, when I'm done wearing this, take everything off of it and then throughout the year buy brooches. Because here's the thing, this morning while I was at Value Village shopping for things, I saw a bunch of like Christmas brooches. I'm like, oh, that'd be a good idea. Problem, they were all like $3, $4, $5 each, and that would have been a very expensive way to do this. And if I would have known a month ago that that would have been a good idea, then I wouldn't have bought all the little decorations. Instead, I would have spent that money and bought a bunch of brooches and then just pinned all the brooches. So here's another great idea for anybody, is if you just want to make the front piece and make it a wall hanging tapestry. If you love Christmas brooches, you know, you can put your Christmas brooches on here as like a hanging wall storage. And I think that's also a great idea. There's a lot of levels to this pattern. Speaking of pattern, it will be on my Patreon. You know, if you want to make this yourself, it will be on my Patreon in the next few days, because I know I have to make the pattern. Anywho, let's get into everything that happened. First, 26 hours. This masterpiece took me 26 hours to make, and I did it. I don't know why it took me so long. I thought this was going to be an easy project, and then it just kept being delayed. Like, I wanted this video out last week, but I was not done it. I was nowhere near going to get it done. So it did take a little bit longer than I thought, and I think it just on me. Remember this? Remember this when I said that I was making it for a Christmas project? This is it. This is the project that I was making it for. Oh wow, that actually turned out pretty well. I used the green and the white on this collar because I knew I was going to use it for this project. It goes really well with this. It's so funny how everything just works out sometimes, because remember I wanted to do the collar, but I wanted it to like stick up a little bit, but I made it too big. And so I flattened it. And because I flattened it, this can sit nicely on here without having that green collar stick up. Wow, sometimes things just work out, and that just worked out for me, so that's great. I think that this looks so good. It goes with it so perfectly. Yarn wise, how much yarn did I use? First thing, I bought too much of this. I bought 2 skeins and I had one at home. Problem is, I wasn't too sure if the one at home was the same color dye lot. I bought 2 more just to be safe. In total, I used an entire one of these plus about a half of another one. So if you're gonna make it, you're gonna need 2 of these at least. And for the green, barely put a dent in it. I don't know where the green is right now, but you only need one of these in green or whatever color you choose. Also, I do want to point out that this Pound of Love yarn is so lightweight, and I'm glad I went with it. Very similar to like Loops and Threads Impeccable, which I normally use for my projects, but when I can use the Pound of Love because there's a color I want, I will use it because it is just a little bit lighter and it's a lot softer. So because I added all of this stuff in the front, having it being a little bit lighter on the arms and everywhere else really helps. So far, it's not heating up. That's good. The lights, they're not really warm either. I've learned, what was it? From the Halloween one, that's where I perfected the fit of this. So I took the measurements from that, put it onto here, and I think it fits perfectly. I really do like it. It is like very kind of heavy right here just because of everything that's attached. Mostly it's the wires that you can't see. They're all underneath here. I think I give it probably a 9 out of 10. Yeah, probably a 9 out of 10. It's a very simple project. The fact that I thought that I could have done something better after I made it, I'm gonna deduct a mark. Do you know how much easier this would have been if it was just brooches? Just a bunch of brooches? So much easier. I probably would have still added this stuff here and the lights, but if it would have just all been brooches, I would have loved that. But I think that's it. This is the last Christmassy thing for the year, and now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do in January. That's it. There we go. The tree. It's done. If you are new to my channel, like sewing, thrifting, crafting, and of course, crocheting, want to hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on my Instagram, my TikTok, and of course my Patreon, where this pattern will be available for y'all. Also, I do want to point out, if you're still listening, I have a new tier on my Patreon. It is a $2 tier, and that is where I'm going to be putting mini little vlogs. If you are already a member of my Patreon for the patterns, you're going to get the vlogs included in that, so you don't have to worry about that. But for anybody else who wants to watch little mini vlogs that I'm putting sporadically throughout the month on my Patreon, check that out. That is it. So y'all have a good day now.